Hello again everyone, welcome back. Today I'm reviewing a cigar that's pretty much by and large for all of you and me going to be available online only, unless you live in the Hollywood, Florida area. There will be selected shops in the United States that will carry this cigar, but not that many. I'll get more about that later. This is the Cuenca 5th anniversary. Not 5th, 5 anniversary is technically the name, and I'll explain that later. Look at the band. They've done a nice job with this ornate, shiny foil band. It is box pressed, 7 by 54. A really nice looking cigar. Under the lights here, you can see the really nice construction. A good friend of the Cuencas is AJ Fernandez. And we have reviewed several of his cigars lately. This is another one. They are good friends with the Cuencas, and Miguel Cuenca, and I hope I'm saying that right, came up with this blend. Then he passed it along to 5 cigar smokers, possibly where the Cuenca 5 comes from. And among them, Anna Cuenca, and she, along with the other 5, tweaked it, what have you, and came up with this cigar. Initially, the cigars will come in boxes of 10, and only 500 boxes will be produced. All the boxes will be signed by Miguel Cuenca. And also initially the cigars will be available to 20 different cigar stores in the continental US and Europe. And by mid-2013, the line will be available to 50 US and European stores. So this is a very nice looking cigar. Almost a chocolate brown in color. And we're going to sample it right now. Looks great. The Cuencas are a little secretive as to how they blended this cigar or what ingredients it has, and all I know is uses a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper. The binder and filler is unknown. Again, here is the cigar in your band. Very nice, I will say again. But we can't smoke the band. We want to try the cigar. Just a tad of firmness, but a very nice draw. There's what we took off. Okay. A lot of cedar right away. Sweet cedar and leather notes. The cigar has a lot of flavors. I can tell they're going to pop here in just a few minutes, but I'm going to leave it there for right now. It starts out initially with a lot of sweet cedar and leather notes and quite a bit of pepper. You know, roughly minimum of a 6 or 7 on the pepper scale right away. So let's let it settle down just a minute and let's see how it really develops. Be right back. Okay, as you can see, I'm about a ½ inch in. And the cigar is indeed popping, changing. You have your sweet cedar. Now you have a candy-like orange flavor, orange citrus. It is sweet and candy-like, combining right perfectly with that cedar. And there is some richness there. The leather is still there. The pepper, I would give it at least a 7 now. I'm upgrading it to at least a 7. The flavor combination is just really nice. The finish, you have a sort of a tapioca, toasted cream, that type flavor, and a little bit of lingering pepper. But the initial flavors are very nice. Now I'm getting another hint of a flavor, and I may have to wait to the next segment to finally definitely distinguish it. But there is another flavor there. It's also sweet. It's also in the fruity category. But I'll be back with that as soon as I can pin it down exactly when it really shines. Well, I'm probably not more than another 1/4 inch along, and I'm going to reveal the other fruity flavor. May sound a little odd, but let's recap. Sweet cedar, sweet orange candy-like citrus, and now maraschino cherries. You have a maraschino cherry flavor. Almost a cherry on top, if you will. Of course, the leather is still there, and the pepper. Those are your main flavors right now. Now the cherry flavor is not intense. It is light, almost like the cherry on the top of the sundae, but it's there, and it's nice. So that's where we are at 3/4 of an inch. You'll have all those flavors. Okay, we're about at 1 inch, and this is a good time to show you the burn. This is how the cigar is going to be burning. It looks like perfectly even. Now, one thing I've noticed about AJ Fernandez cigars, leather seems to be a common thread in every one of his cigars. Other flavors change somewhat, but his cigars have a lot of leather. This cigar has his signature leather, but it is not to the intensity of some of the others. The Cuencas did a good job of selecting leaves that give it leather, but it's not an overshadowing, overburdening leather. The fruit-like flavors, the cedar, the orange citrus, and that little cherry on top, are in a greater percentage than the leather. So the leather is not harsh. It's not an overbearing leather. It's just a nice addition, a base, if you will. So I commend them for that. As someone who likes leather but doesn't want it overbearing, I commend you for that. So that's where we are. Flavors are still going along about the same. I would call the cigar medium bodied right now at best. It's nice, it's enjoyable, it's medium bodied. It's going along nicely. Okay, I'm probably just past the midpoint. I'm 1 hour in, and there's where we are. The only significant change, the leather notes are now moving forward. They are equal to, if not slightly ahead of, the fruity sweet flavors. The finish is still one of a toasted cream, and the longer it goes, it feathers into a straight cream. So that's really your only change, if you will, is the leather has jockeyed a little bit. It didn't like being second fiddle, so it moved up equal to or just ahead of the others. Still not harsh, still not overbearing. It's just a little more noticeable. Well, I've only got a couple inches left, and the flavors continue to change. The leather is still trying to be prominent. There is still some of that creaminess to that leather, as odd as that sounds. The cedar is still your primary sweet flavor. It has lost a lot of richness, but it's still sweet. The orange and cherry notes have all but disappeared. You do now have a charred oak flavor. There is an oakiness and you can tell it's charred. So that really is adding to the leather notes. So that's where we are, and it's still medium bodied. I would say medium. I don't even think it'll reach medium to full, but it's been a very nice cigar, and you see it's burning evenly. I'll be back here shortly to wrap it up. One thing you'll notice, I haven't brought this up to this point, but if you look behind me, you'll see boxes and what have you, and it looks a little out of place. Those are things for the South Carolina sit down that are starting to come in. They have to go somewhere, so they're stored here until April 20th. So just in case you were wondering, that's what they are. Well, as you can see, I'm down to the end, so I'm going to wrap it up. At this point, we're about an hour and 40 minutes. So it's a quite long cigar. This has been a very good cigar. I would like to first thank Miguel and Anna for sending two of them to me to try and to get the word out. It is basically what I would call a somewhat complex cigar. It does make several changes, several little turns. I really enjoyed the first half with those sweet cedar, orange notes, and the cherry. Very much loved that. Those did wane and fall off, and you're left with primarily a mix of cedar and leather. Of course, the leather was prominent on the first half also. But then you had the charred oak in the last third. Different things here and there. Cigar ended up medium bodied. Pepper was good throughout. Finish was about the same throughout. All in all, a very good cigar. I'm unsure of the price point of these. You may have to check online if you can find them, or at the shops, but they are in boxes of 10 if you wanted to buy the box. So this cigar for me was what I would call a good quality cigar, impeccably made, as we saw when we started. AJ Fernandez did a great job for them on this cigar. My final impressions and score, 92. Excellent cigar. If you see them, try them and buy them. Thanks again for Anna for sending that. The Cuenca 5